Any news to share? Hey, good to see you again. Welcome to Fort Atlas. Yep, the Brotherhood renamed it when they turned it into their new headquarters here. They sure did, trailing a bunch of recruits and new initiates they picked up along the way. Quite the sight to see, no lie. I was really glad I had something to show them when they got here. Of course, what'd you want to know? I wasn't sure what to expect, really. I built up a picture of them, reading the old logs from Taggarty's group. This bunch, well, they just marched across the continent, and you can sense the strain. But the resolve in them is like nothing I've ever seen. Paladin Romani, their leader, she's really something. Makes you feel like you're part of a brighter future when she talks to you. Oh, it's an honor. I know that sounds like some recruiting poster nonsense, but really, it is. I finally feel like I'm part of something meaningful. Building a better world alongside other people who have committed their lives to that cause. Sure, sometimes it means doing guard shifts in the rain, but hey, small price to pay for real purpose, right? Well, aside from the initiates and hopefuls they recruited along the way, just 3. I was expecting more, honestly, but Paladin Romani said 3 was plenty to start a new chapter. With the recruits they have already, she's right. What do you need? I caught a little flack for using the logo when they arrived, but they were pretty impressed. So much work was already done. The Paladin asked me on the spot if I wanted to make it official as an initiate. I'm not too proud to say I got so excited I barely could say yes. Hey, good. Looking to sign up? Or just curious? Well, either way, I guess it's not me you want to talk to. Most of the fort's off limits to civilians, but if you're interested, Knight Shin's in charge of the new recruits. He's very serious about protocol and security, so you'll have to speak to him first if you want to get anywhere.
The outer perimeter is still unsecured, the provisions aren't properly stowed, and we're awash in hopefuls. I have no time to be babysitting
Your
civilians.
duties are what I say they are, Knight. Your objections are noted, but this is a direct order from your commanding officer. Help us put on a good face for the local people. We've just moved into their backyard. They're nervous. Show them we mean it.
If you insist, Paladin. If there's nothing further, I'll have the completed report on your desk shortly.
I expect nothing less from you. As you worship.
Paladin. If you're here with a request for the Brotherhood, get in line. I don't have time for you right now. Diddy. Initiate Dorsey is supposed to be manning his post at the entrance, not acting as my secretary. Initiate Dorsey is too trusting, but I can't fault his commitment. Perhaps he sees something in you worth our interest. Are you another aspirant to our order? If you mean that, then you are right. But if that's sarcasm, I recommend you stow it. Immediately. Normally, I might stick you with the other hopefuls until we decide whether you're worthy. But, if you're serious about joining us, you've got good timing. There's something you could do for me that would help the Order and demonstrate your qualities as a candidate. We've had a number of civilians show up here at Fort Atlas, asking for one thing or another from the Brotherhood. People are afraid, or want something, or are looking to involve us in local squabbles. Civilian outreach is not my specialty. There's too much left to do to secure this facility. If you're really interested in helping, save my time. Interview the petitioners, find out what they want, and report back to me. Do this right. Don't make me regret giving you the opportunity. Conduct yourself properly, and we can consider putting you forward as an initiate candidate.
Don't get left behind. better have something useful to say to me. Oh, can't even come to me himself? What, he needs to requisition some more armor polish? All right. Keep it cool, Sean. So, what's he got to say to me? The problem is that a couple of these Brotherhood clowns showed up and took a bunch of my stuff at gunpoint. Now, I'm a peaceful man. I really am. I sure wasn't equipped to deal with armed thugs requisitioning the little I've managed to put together for myself. Never understood the Raiders. I like the quiet life. I don't need much, and I need trouble less. But after this, oh, I get it. I came here to give the Brotherhood a chance to make things right. Else maybe I go to Crater and start doing things their way. At least they don't pretend to be the good guys. All right. What else did you want? I'm a scavenger mainly. Always been pretty good with a set of tools, so I do all right for myself, scrapping and fixing things. I trade what I find or fix with the folks at Foundation when I need something I can't get otherwise. Mostly, I like to be left alone. Don't blow me off like I'm making this up. These people have a responsibility to fix this. They had the power armor, and they said they were Brotherhood. Sorry I didn't make sure to ask proof when they had me at gunpoint. Listen, I don't have much, but what's mine is mine, and these people took that from me. The Brotherhood pretends like they're noble, but then they let this happen? In their name? Raiders don't act like something they're not, and at least the gangs defend their own. Then tell them, and get them to do something about it.
Yes. Something I can help you with? I am waiting to speak with a Brotherhood representative. I have no interest in small talk with strangers. The severe gentleman in the power armor, yes? Dr. Edgar Blackburn at your service. And what did Knight Shin want to know? I had heard that the Brotherhood possessed advanced technology. As a doctor and a scientist, this was of great interest. My research is always in need of equipment and materials rather difficult to obtain by scavenging and bartering. I came to see if an arrangement could be made, but from what I can see of their operations, they are as yet still in too much disarray. Given the state of my fellow supplicants, I would hypothesize that their needs likely outweigh my own. Very well. What did you wish to know? I am sure you have more interesting things to do than listen to a poorly socialized wasteland doctor talk about himself. In short, I trained in multiple specialties before the war, and had a brief career as a research scientist prior to the bombs dropping. Finding myself fortunate enough to survive, I have continued my research, such as it is. Now I focus on the health of the people of Appalachia. Please do not ask me to examine any strange growths. I am not that kind of doctor. It would be difficult to express it in layman's terms. No offense intended. In essence, I have been studying the illnesses of Appalachia. For too long, people have relied on folk remedies and makeshift medicines. The long-term effects of this environment are concerning. Just because the radiation is survivable does not mean it is safe. Their hygiene standards are better than the lot at Crater, but no, I prefer to work in solitude. One day, perhaps, my research will be of benefit to them and all the other people of Appalachia. Very well, then. Perhaps we can be of assistance to one another, should our paths cross again.
Well, now look at you. You with these Steel Brother fellas? I've been waiting a good spell to talk to them. Well, it's about time. I'd like to die of old age waiting on them. Name's Art Knapp. So, what's this Knight fella sent you for? A fair trade's what I want. I've heard stories about these steel types back in the day. They was going around taking things from folks. For the cause, they said. Yeah, like that don't make them raiders too. Well, I ain't got much, and I already got to worry about raiders. So, I reckon it's better to make a deal up front. My farm don't produce much, but I got some extra, and I expect they'll have a use for it. In return, I want these steel boys and girls to keep raiders away from my farm. Heard a lot of noise they was on our side. So, seems fair.
The efficiency of Brotherhood response to visitors is...
I'm not going anywhere just yet. Shoot. Ain't much to tell. Been a farmer one way or another, all my life. My daddy before me, and so on. Set up in these parts after I heard it was safe again. Turned out, there's plenty of raiders fixing to take what ain't nailed down. Ain't much use bellyaching about it, but neither am I just gonna roll over and let some bullies take what's mine. Got seed in the ground right now. I ain't yet seen a raider willing to scrabble in the soil for seeds, so I reckon it'll get by till I'm back. Before they bombed the daylights out of everything, folks used to pay taxes in exchange for the government doing what it was supposed to do. Raiders will just take everything. This is a trade. Fair is fair, and a deal's a deal. I ain't care for people poking their noses into my business, but if a bushel or two to these Brotherhood keeps the raiders away, I can live with it.
Military grade.
Could be.
I hope. Hey! Yeah, you. Who do I need to talk to around here? You know, about the guns? You don't look like one of these Brotherhood yahoos. Name's Tally Lane. What's your deal? Shin? He the scary guy with the stick up his butt? Alright, shoot. Yeah, that's right. Big shiny guns. Now, all the talk in the area is about these Brotherhood folks with their high-tech toys, and I thought, Tally, you gotta get some of that. For self-defense, of course. Just so me and some of my poor, innocent friends can protect ourselves from all the nasty folks out there. Why not? Hit me. Oh, I'm just a poor country girl, you know? Parents died ages ago, so it's just me and a few friends trying to make our way in the world. It's pretty scary out there. Just a bunch of orphans helping each other out. We're practically just kids. Had to grow up on our own. We'd sure feel a lot safer with some of those high-tech guns these Brotherhood have to scare off all the maniacs out there. What? Me? A raider? No. Little old me? Don't be silly.
The efficiency of Brotherhood response to...
Hey, you calling me a liar? I mean, already told you. My friends and I just need them for self-defense. We'll pay good caps. Yeah, whatever.
I gave you a job to do. Have you finished the task I gave you? Good. Let's get this done. I have the list from their arrival. Give me the high-level overview. We are not mercenaries here to serve as guards for anyone with some goods to trade in payment. This is not a charity. As a civilian, you are free to play hero for everyone that comes to you with a sad tale. The Brotherhood, however, has a duty to its mission, and that does not include playing bodyguard. Enough about that. What's next? The Brotherhood is not a charity, and our mission does not cover providing civilians with equipment to pursue their personal interests, unless the Doctor intends to provide that research to the Brotherhood exclusively, and under our supervision, he will get nothing. That shows commendable discipline. Scribe Valdez may have interest if he returns, but if so, he is her problem. That appears to resolve the matter on our end. Next report. Impossible. Whatever happened, it was not us. There are countless brigands out there, civilian. It is not the job of the Brotherhood to hunt them down one by one for their crimes. I will say it bothers me to hear that someone is abusing the honor of the Brotherhood this way. But that does not change the facts. Mr. Hockman's problems are his own, not ours. Give me your next report. No, we are not arms dealers. There was never any circumstance in which I would authorize weapons to that woman. But your vigilance is noted. That covers everyone. Against my initial judgment, you have shown that you can take orders and make yourself useful for the Brotherhood. You need to lose those soft civilian instincts, but I will make note of your assistance in my report to Paladin Romani. Should you wish to join our ranks, I will not oppose your enlistment and grant you permission, provisionally, to enter the compound proper. Go to our scribe Valdez. You will need her support as well if you want Paladin Romani's attention. What I am going to do is make the recommendations I see fit in my report to Paladin Romani. As the commanding officer, the final decisions will be hers. And your concern in the matter ends here. Be vigilant, outsider.
I have everything I need here.
Hello, civilian. I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly are you doing up here? Oh, a prospective initiate. The Knight Shin sent you. And I guess we're both in luck. Paladin Romani makes the call on new recruits, but the Knight and I have some influence. It just so happens I'm in need of someone to help me out on a little mission. If you're interested, I can bring you along and put you to work. Do a good job, and I'll send a recommendation your way. How about it? Our new base is littered with old technology, but there's something in particular I want to investigate. It's down in the bowels of this place, a part of Atlas that we've cornered off. I'm not keen on going alone, so I'd like some backup. Glad we can come to an agreement. Any questions before we start? Great! Unfortunately, I need to finish up a few things here. Head downstairs and I'll meet you in a bit. Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Are you trying to get on my good side? Because that's how you get on my good side. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial. Here's one. is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? Oh, I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. Well, Night Shin did send you, so I guess I can trust you with a little information. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. I did ask you to help, after all. It's only fair you're prepared for what you might find. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups? Think of the wires like the blood vessels of the machine. Without the electricity running through them, nothing's going to work. We just need to do a little checkup and see what condition they're in. The release valve is an emergency mechanism that can relieve pressure on the intake pipes if they come under stress. If all is well, we'll just be able to turn it and nothing out of the ordinary will happen. The diagnostics test can tell us the state of some key components that we won't be able to test manually. Keep an eye on the state of each component and we'll want to look into them after the initial check. Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after. Looks like we've got company. Here we go. That does it for the inspection. Let's talk. All right, let's go over the inspection result. The diagnostics check revealed flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? Oh, misaligned. Next, we have the release valve. That went... Well, what was your assessment? Not okay. Explosive decompression is not what we're looking for. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were... Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay, well, sorry about the popcorn. A fair point. We have a saying among the scribes. Through discourse, we gain strength. This wasn't discourse. It was a test. I can't blame you for being upset. I wanted to see if you would pay attention. And I have my answer now. Sorry if I angered you. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started? You saw what happened when we tested the release valve. I want to examine the stress on the gauge. That could tell us if all that built-up pressure was normal or an anomaly. Oh, and you may have to pry it off, but be careful about it when the time comes. The brain of the machine. It's the component that coordinates all of the others. It should be slotted into a terminal somewhere. May take a little technical know-how to extract, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. A very important and technical component. It helps force particles into a beam that the machine could fire to affect the weather. Somehow. Could take a bit of manual dexterity to pry loose without any damage. I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do. Induction coil up there on the machine core. What's that? Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? This is... Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy, but they condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Romani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help, and good luck with the Paladin.
Raiders causing trouble again. We'll have to do something about them.
Ah, you must be the one I've been hearing about. Paladin Layla Romani. What do you need? It takes more than hope to join the Brotherhood. Knight Shin has spoken in your favor, but you'd also need Scribe Valdez's approval for me to consider your candidacy. Well, between this and the report I have from Knight Shin, we can discuss you becoming a member of our order. Consider it carefully. Do you wish to join our ranks? Both have given their approval to your initiate consideration. Yes. Knight Shin felt that you displayed sensible judgment, took orders tolerably well, and were ideally suited to help with civilian outreach. Frankly, I suspect he just wants out of those duties, but you made a decent impression regardless. In short, she thinks you are capable, helpful, and possessed of a higher-than-average technical aptitude. Useful qualities in an initiate candidate. Yes? Membership in the Brotherhood is a commitment to honor, duty, and service. You would begin as an initiate in our ranks. With time and training, you may one day join the Scrolls as a knight or scribe, depending on your aptitudes and choices. On a day-to-day basis, Knight Shin would be your direct superior here, though any of the officers may requisition you for missions if needed. With the recommendations of Knight Shin and Scribe Valdez, I'm willing to consider you for membership. But first, I need to see how you handle yourself without direct supervision. In order to be effective in our operations here, we need to establish positive relations with the people of Appalachia. If we make them see us as a beneficial presence in the area, it will be much easier to secure cooperation in the future. We have reports of feral ghoul attacks on traders and travelers in the southwest forest region, indicative of a nest of some kind. I want you to clear it out.
Disorder is to be expected in a place that lacked Brotherhood oversight for so long.
Your reward is that I consider you worthy to join our ranks. Limited intel suggests this is a milk run, perfect for a new recruit. But you're not wrong. We don't know the level of threat. Take this as an additional precaution.
I need to remind
We don't know.
to retune my
Our initial reports on the attacks came from a family of farmers, the Putnams, that we passed on the way into the region. I think their sons were rather starstruck when we showed up. I almost expected the older boy to follow us when we left. You should start your search there. They may know more. You can find them at the old Lewis and Sons farming supply.
We arrived in Appalachia not a moment too soon.
Very well. Do this, and you will be one of us, with all the rights and responsibilities of a full member of the Brotherhood of Steel. Ad Victoriam.
Whoa there. Mom, Dad!
Who do you think you are barging in here? George?
Hold it, stranger. No funny moves.
The Brotherhood? Again?
Oh, man. Cool! Ha ha! I told you they'd be back, Colin.
Lower the gun, George. All right. Why don't you come over here and we'll try to do this like civilized folk. Now you need to be more careful just waltzing into people's homes. It's a good way to end up with more lead in you than's healthy. I'm Carol Putnam. This is my husband, George. Now, won't you tell us why you're barging in here, and maybe we can all be friendly when you're done. Those would be them military types in the heavy armor that came through here recently, right? I'm the one that told them about those attacks.
Those Brotherhood guys are so cool. Wait, are you recruiting? I want to sign up.
Their gear was pretty fascinating.
Settle down, boys. The adults is talking. So you want to know about them ghouls? Can't say for certain. We got a suspicion, though.
A lot of the sightings and attacks have been from folks traveling the highway to Flatwoods. They come out of the hills, northwest of the old creamery.
And the only thing out that way is what's left of the Orwell orchards. Could be the source of the things. You gonna wipe them out when you find them? Good to hear.
You'd be doing everybody in the area a favor. That's for sure.
Safe roads mean safer traders. Good for everyone. The Brotherhood would definitely be making friends if you pull this off. Not sure. More than a few, less than an army. From what folks have said, if you're going in alone, even a few can swarm you before you even realize what's happening. Be careful out there. All right, then. Lord, don't get them started.
Oh, yeah. The lasers, the power armor, they are the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Marty, you barely do your chores now, and you get confused by the generator. What good would you be?
Yeah, well, at least I'm not a shrimp like you.
I can pay you to get these two out of my hair.
George!
I'm just kidding. You boys know we love you.
Now, I don't like it, but they're adults. Or close enough, I guess. And I know they're bound to want to do their own thing. But the farm needs work. We can't do it alone. If one of them wants to go, well now, George and I'll just have to live with it. But you ain't taking both of my boys, though.
Ooh, me.
Careful, George.
You heard the wife. She says one of them can go, then one can go, I suppose.
I'd prefer you kept it that way then.
I think I could be a real asset to you, though. I'm good with machines, and I work hard. Heck, I'm the one who repaired the bots outside.
Forget about him. The Brotherhood's tough, not a bunch of nerds. I'd be perfect.
Let it be, boys.
Fine by me. Me, George, and the boys. Marty's the overeager one. Colin's the quiet one. I hope I don't need to remind you, we're not defenseless.
There's also the robots outside, of course. I got them helping with the chores.
Nerd.
Boys, knock it off.
So, us, the robots, and the dogs, I guess. And enough firepower to discourage pests. Well, we're getting to be self-sufficient soon. Greenhouse is getting there. George wants to restore the house, but we're fine in here.
The boys are gonna want rooms of their own, dear. Don't act like you wouldn't mind being away from this snoring.
We've got other work needs doing first. Lord, if I can put up with your snoring for 20 years, I can surely deal with them. Just try not to startle us if you drop by again. George has a hair trigger with that shotgun.
You gotta take me with you. I'm ready for this. I just know it. I'll be just like that Night Shin who was here before. Heck yes. And Paladin Romani. So cool. Yeah, I asked them a bunch of questions and told them about wanting to leave the farm and everything, and they said I was remarkably keen. I think that means they liked me. I'm strong, I'm fit, and I'm ready to fight. Whatever you need, I'll fight mutants, or ghouls, or raiders, or whatever. Well, no. But I use a rifle sometimes to keep critters away from the crops. One night, I thought I saw a super mutant coming out of the woods, so I shot it. Dad came running because of the noise. It turned out it was just dark and I shot a bush, but I wasn't scared. Oh, Mom and Dad are fine here. The farm is their dream, not mine. Besides, the only thing I'm really good for around here is hauling things. I can't grow anything to save my life. I know Colin's got the brains, but even I know that's a bad thing for a farmer. Of course! Them showing up is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in, like, ever. I know I sound like a kid asking for a treat, but I mean it. I'll do whatever it takes. Can you really get me in? Oh, sure. Whatever you need. I suppose. But where else would I get to wear that totally awesome armor and learn to be as cool as Night Shin? Oh. All right. I'll be here if you change your mind about me joining.
I really would like to join the Brotherhood. I know I'm not as strong as my brother, but you've got to have a need for somebody smart, right? Smarter than Marty, anyway. No offense to my brother, but if he can't solve a problem with his muscles, he's stumped. I read anything I can find. Most of the working machinery around the farm is my handiwork. I'm the one who got the bots running. The Brotherhood can't be all brawn and no brains, right? Maybe I'm not, but I'm not cut out to be a farmer either. The Brotherhood has tech, and that's an opportunity to learn. That's all I want. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be nervous. Won't know until it happens, I suppose. But I'm willing to risk it if it means getting out of here. It is safe. So safe, I'll end up still running this place when I'm old. There's nothing wrong with farming, and I love my parents, but there's so much more out there. Maybe so, but Marty's right about one thing. The Brotherhood has the coolest tech. It'd be amazing to get to work with it and learn from them. I'm sure this farm isn't the place for me. The Brotherhood could change the world. It's where I belong. Can you make me a recruit? Okay. Okay.
Mission candidate? Good work. One less pocket of monsters in the area, and a clear sign to the locals that we're on their side. You've risen to the challenges set before you, and proven your worth to myself, Knight Shin, and Scribe Valdez. I hereby confer on you the status of probationary initiate in the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm sorry, but we'll have to put the official initiation right on hold. Something's come up, and we need to deal with it right away. If you've got anything else you need to take care of, make it quick. Report to me again when you're ready. Ad Victoriam, Initiate. Hello, Initiate. Congratulations on officially joining our ranks. I apologize that we aren't able to do an official ceremony right now, but as previously stated, something more important has come up. I've been informed that there is an independent settlement that needs our help. A group of Blood Eagle raiders are extorting the villagers and taking their supplies. The village's leader, Jenny Brown, has more information. You can find her at their settlement, a camp made up of tree houses that they call the Retreat. I trust that you will represent the Brotherhood admirably on your first mission, Initiate.
This order is to be expected in a place that lacked Brotherhood oversight for so long.
I trust you're adjusting to service with the Brotherhood.
Everything makes sense now. They said place. You should leave. Sorry. I'm wearing an outsider's.
Hello there, stranger. What can I do for you?
Just about time to eat.
Well, aren't you just the cutest Brotherhood member I've ever seen? My name is Jenny Brown, and I'm the mama hen of this little family here at the retreat. Lately, my kin have been harassed by a woman named Dagger and her Blood Eagle raiders. She's causing all my people to go hungry and threatening our lives. You should take some time to talk with some of my people. I'm sure they have some useful information about Dagger that they can share with you, you know. Right. Let me know if you need anything else, darling. Hey there, sunshine. How can I help you? Don't even get me started on that woman. She sent some of her Blood Eagles to pretend like they wanted to be part of our community around the time that we first got set up here. After we became established and got our own stockpile of supplies, those Blood Eagles disappeared and must have told her that we were now a worthy target. She showed up the next day with those sons of bitches demanding a cut of our supplies. Now we're a lot more careful about who we let in, so please forgive anyone who might be, standoffish. Even though we are peaceful people, we do live in this cruel world and are no strangers to having to defend ourselves. Unfortunately, we just aren't able to take on Dagger and all of her crew by ourselves. There's too many of them, and they are just too powerful for us. Food and medical supplies, primarily. Two of the most needed things in order to survive in this world, of course. We've been having to ration out our food so that everyone only gets one meal a day. That's not enough to live on, and people are starting to go hungry. Ask whatever you want to know about me. Well, all right then. Shoot. I really didn't do it on purpose or anything. It just kind of happened. You know, darling, I think a lot of people these days are just looking for some human companionship and kindness. There's enough to worry about in this world we live in, but having a family helps you carry that burden. Well, I spent my days watching television and gossiping with my gal pals. Nothing too exciting, but boy, would I give anything to have one boring day again. I had a beautiful family with 2 precious grandbabies. I loved them bunches and bunches, more than anything in this whole wide world. This family I've created will never replace them. But it helps with the loss a little bit, you know what I mean? Even though we were able to get by well enough traveling, we grew past the point where it wasn't sustainable anymore and we needed reliable trade. While going from place to place, we started to hear talks about people coming back to Appalachia, and it seemed as good of a place as any. Plus, I got some youngins talking about starting families. Bless their hearts. Kids need all the stability that they can get in this unstable world, so it makes sense to find a place we could call home. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Well, I'd be happy to talk about our lovely home. Well, since we're higher up, we've got good sight lines all around us and are able to protect ourselves pretty well from the local wildlife. These houses were already built, too, which made it quicker for us to get set up. Besides, it makes me feel like a kid again. We don't have anything against the settlers. In fact, we often trade with them. We just want to be on our own and don't want to get wrapped up in the drama between Foundation and Crater. We were nomadic before we came to Appalachia. It worked out well because traveling around meant finding more people to add to our family. We've grown quite a bit, though, so it only made sense to set down some roots. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. No worries, hon. Don't be a stranger.
Don't cause any trouble around here. I will be able to find you. I went out hunting shortly after one of her weekly collections, and tracked her lieutenants to see where her hideout is. I lost their trail and wasn't able to get the exact location. But I do know they're somewhere to the southwest. If you find her, kill her. Her and her damn blood eagles are taking our food, water, stim packs, everything. All in exchange for allowing us to keep our lives. Being high up in these trees makes me feel safe. Plus, everyone looks out for each other here. And we do what we can to make the best of it. If you could just help get rid of Dagger, I can go back to living in peace. My partner and I were holed up in a building when we heard some people come inside and start looking through the place. We were worried we would have to fight, but instead, Miss Jenny welcomed us into her group with open arms and offered us a place in the family. Please, help us give that Dagger what she deserves.
I should make something sweet to cheer up with. We've got flour, sugar.
Hey, I know you. Forgive any attitudes from us. We've got people going hungry here. I run the storehouse here. I have to deal with her lieutenants. They come to collect every week. They have some sort of fancy rocket launchers that would blow this place to smithereens, if given the opportunity. Her and those Blood Eagle raiders are definitely too tough for us to handle on our own. Something's gotta be done about her. I hope you're the one to do it. Are you kidding me? It's gotta be the coolest digs you can get in this apocalypse. I'm proud to call this place my home. These people my family. I was surrounded by a group of vicious mole rats, and some members of Miss Jenny's family found me. They saved me. I figured I could use some more protection from all the nastiness in this world. Now, we just need to deal with Dagger. You go get that Dagger, and bring me back my Instamash. Please.
Hey there. Sorry, we're a bit wary of strangers right now. I know that she's got numbers, and she's smart. She's got people tracking our trade routes, and they've been harassing our caravans. It's making the settlers not want to trade with us for fear of losing their own people. I don't blame them either. Dagger's people are making it harder and harder for us to have the supplies when she comes to collect. Honestly, I think she just wants an excuse to kill us off. Miss Jenny heard of all the people in Appalachia and thought it would be a good spot for some consistent trading opportunities. I came across all these abandoned tree houses, and it seemed like the perfect place to set up our little haven. It allows us to keep our independence while still making it easy to trade with the settlers. Mostly. I believe in you to give that dagger what she deserves.
I hope you enjoyed getting to know us. We're peaceful people. We don't want to bother or be bothered. So, will you help us? I'm glad you're able to see how special my people are. Family is the most important thing that you can have, especially in the wasteland. I will do anything that I can to protect mine. Other than she's insane and a menace, she has this loyal group of lieutenants that are willing to protect her with their lives. I'm telling you, if they didn't follow her everywhere she went, I'd have already tried to put her 6 feet under.
It's just about time to eat.
Thank you. I knew you'd be as sweet on the inside as you are on the outside. Please be careful. Dagger and her lieutenants are dangerous folk.
Well. I see the Brotherhood has finally sent one of their pawns to retrieve my weapons. Because you've impressed me by taking out my crew, I'll allow you to say a few last words. Choose them carefully, kid. Oh, shit. You mean you didn't know about the weapons? The crate they came in may have had a Brotherhood of Steel insignia on them. But they're ours now. Don't even think about walking into my place and making demands, either. I won't let you take these weapons from us. Like I said, these weapons don't belong to the Brotherhood anymore.
I don't have any of their blood. And you can tell those villagers they'll be punished for crying to the Brotherhood of Steel. Well, shit. If there's one thing I value more than my goods, it's my life. Here's the key to some of our stash. Make sure you tell your people to stay out of my business from now on.
Stupid villagers.
Have you had a chance to pay Dagger a friendly visit? Thank you so much, Sweet Pea. Because of you, my people will no longer go hungry. The Brotherhood has our support and our thanks.
Maybe I'll ask around and see if anyone needs help.
Patrol.
They must have seen something quite interesting for you to come to me about it.
Interesting is not the word. Concerning, yes.
One moment, Initiate. Knight Shin is in the middle of his report. Go on, Shin.
As I was saying, one of our patrols came across a raider storeroom. They were chased out, but not before sighting several crates with the Brotherhood insignia on them.
Those crates are for important assets. We haven't used them since...
Since that battle, let's not waste time with details. Considering the contents, it's imperative that we recover those crates from the raiders.
We have yet to establish a relationship with the people of Crater. It's possible they are more agreeable than the other raiders we've encountered.
We're here to protect.
Are you seriously considering the idea of leaving those items in raider hands?
Let's discuss this later. We've kept the Initiate waiting long enough. Were you able to help the people of the retreat? Very unfortunate that things had to end that way, but at least the villagers are safe now.
Them, and likely many others. The world is better off with fewer Blood Eagles.
Don't speak so frivolously of human life, Knight. Is there anything else to report? The Blood Eagles, too. Did these crates have our insignia on them?
If our weapons have spread among multiple groups, that's a serious problem. The Initiate made the right choice in bringing them back to us.
I hope the villagers have other means of defending themselves.
If we address the threat at its origin, there would be no need for them to defend themselves, which is exactly why we can't leave those weapons in raider hands.
We obtained them during our journey to Appalachia. Unexpected circumstances removed them from our possession.
That's all the Initiate needs to know.
I am the one answering questions here, Knight. The Brotherhood saved Shin's hometown from a raider attack. It was then that Knight Connors recruited him into the fold. There have been other incidents since then, but...
This is irrelevant to the mission.
Perhaps you can ask him about it another time.
I'd prefer that you didn't.
Good work, Initiate. You're dismissed.
For your sake, I hope you're here. Good. To review the current situation, one of our patrols located a cache of dangerous weapons in a raider storeroom. Stolen Brotherhood weapons, no less. Your assignment is to secure the storeroom for the Brotherhood, and the weapons along with it. I'll put together a squad and meet you there. But given the situation, it's imperative you arrive there as soon as possible. Any questions, Initiate? Paladin Romani forbids engagement without warning. So, we will attempt to speak to them when we arrive. That being said, the raiders have already made it clear they're determined to be our enemies. Stealing supplies, ambushing patrols, using Brotherhood weapons to terrorize the region. If they are unwilling to cooperate, we will put our foot down. So be prepared for combat. One last thing. We need to confirm the weapon's source. I find it unlikely the raiders will be willing to talk until after we send them a very clear message. If any of them are still alive after that, we can question them. But priority one is securing the weapons they already have. That will be all. Dismissed.
Well, looks like we have a visitor. Did the Brotherhood send you? Didn't know they were working with run-of-the-mill average wastelanders. Thought they wanted you strapped into one of those tin cans round the clock. It's wrong of me to judge by appearances, though. Why don't you introduce yourself? That's so. You got a deed to go with that claim? Because, we're not gonna sign it.
This vault and all material goods within are hereby under possession of the Brotherhood of Steel. This requisition will aid us in the preservation of technology and the protection of mankind. Your compliance will ensure your safety.
You know, I'm interested in hearing more about this protection of mankind business. I suppose killing a few no-good raiders is an easy price to pay for the benefit this measly little vault will provide for us as a species. Is that it?
I repeat, your compliance will ensure your safety. Not that I'd expect a simple-minded brute to understand.
Resorting to name-calling already. I have to say, I'm disappointed. Thought I'd be able to speak to someone civilized from a big-shot organization like yours. What about you, Forward Scout? Think we can work this one out? Or are your underpants in as tight of a bunch as Mr. Compliance over there? Who's to say we don't have that whole platform you're standing on rigged to blow?
I'll call your bluff. You didn't expect us to come.
All right, I'll admit, this is a serious oversight on my part. Should have known those initiates who stopped by would have gone frying to their superiors. Humor me on one thing. This place doesn't offer us any strategic leverage over the Brotherhood. If anything, you're gonna waste more resources protecting a place so far away from your home base. So then, it must be the weapons that are important to you. What's so special about these rocket launchers that a top-ranking member would come to collect them himself?
I don't know how you became aware of our internal hierarchy, but it's irrelevant to the situation. You will leave the weapons in the vault and disperse. Now.
How about you? Do you seriously take orders from this constipated suit of metal? Terrorize? We're out here trying to survive, just like anyone else. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood is marching around in power armor, threatening people who don't meet its demands. You tell me who's the real terror. We're heading back to Crater. The stash isn't worth it.
Not so fast. Tell us where you got those weapons from.
Ooh, sorry. I don't discuss Raider affairs on Brotherhood territory. If you really want to know, you can come talk to me in Crater. Don't worry. If it's only one of you, we don't usually kill on sight. Now let us through.
We completed the first part of our mission. You composed yourself in a manner befitting of the Brotherhood. We don't compromise, especially not with raiders. It's clear you understand that. Moving forward, we still need to track down the weapon source. That man appeared to know something. I don't care how you get it out of him, but make sure you get it. I thought the raiders were bad enough before that vile cretin opened his mouth. And we just let him... This is off topic, Initiate. Don't ask me a question like that again. This is your top priority. The longer we let these weapons spread, the more difficult it will be to track down all of them.
Can't believe they had the nerve to just barge in like that. That knight acts like some kind of righteous savior.
I told you. And they're only gonna get more confident.
I won't let them. Do we have their patrol routes yet? A couple ambushes ought to take them down a notch.
We'll have to discuss this later. We've got a visitor.
So, you really came? Huh. To be honest, I didn't expect the Brotherhood to show its face around here with anything less than a fully armored battalion. Life is just full of surprises, isn't it? So, what can I do for you, oh honorable emissary of steel? Oh, right! The weapons! After they got forcibly confiscated from us, I almost forgot about them. See, the thing is, you and your metal buddies put me in a pretty tight spot back there. There are people here in Crater depending on me. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it back to them. So I prioritized a little bit. Getting home to those people was more important than being completely sincere to a group of heavily armed tyrants. So if you're looking for help with your little weapon problem, you can look somewhere else.
Don't you think you're being stubborn, Pierce? We have a good little Brotherhood peon here at our disposal. We can make use of that.
We've been over this. There's no compromising with people like the Brotherhood. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
We don't know that yet for sure. Besides, everyone has their own motivations. Our visitor might have one worth talking about.
I won't rely on a betrayal to take them down. You should know that. I have nothing left to discuss. I've given you my answer, Initiate. Now for your sake, I'd suggest you don't stick around.
Hey, you. Don't leave yet. I've got something to say. Don't mind Pierce, he's stubborn. Holds too tightly to his morals. I'll tell you about the weapons, but you're gonna need to give me something in return. Interested? I want intel on the Brotherhood. Records, roster, correspondence. You've got people specialized in keeping track of that sort of thing, right? Transfer their data onto this holotape and bring it back to me. Then I'll tell you what you want to know. We're not on friendly terms with the Brotherhood. What do you think we're gonna do with it? Don't worry. If the Brotherhood is as powerful as they are confident, then it shouldn't make any difference, right? How do you know about our war room? About that vault where you ambushed Pierce? We have eyes the same way you do. Remember it. This isn't a betrayal. It's just good business sense. Toodles. Hey.
Hi. Yeah. I'm not very good at talking. Thank you. I know it makes people feel weird. They threaten my friends, so I'll take them down. They're my friends. Pierce is kind. I owe him everything. If you hurt him, you'll pay. She's scary sometimes, but she does it for us. I would do the same. No, I don't get along well with people. Sure. Guard places, lift things, kill people. Yeah, I like helping.
Seriously?
Okay.
Just stick with the plan. Hands to yourself.
Anything you need to know? Raiders, huh? If they're anything like the raiders we've encountered on the expedition route, then...
Weapons at the ready.
My guess is the situation isn't pretty. All right. How can I help? I think I understand. The funny thing about data is you don't know what's real or not. Not unless you gathered it yourself. To be honest, I was working on encrypting my terminal for this kind of situation. So, if anyone accessed it who wasn't supposed to, they would just get false info and none would be the wiser. I didn't finish, but you can still use the fake data I created. Should be clearly labeled in the files. Just, don't select the wrong one. This is the raiders we're talking about. It'd be bad news if they got an advantage on us. Worse, if the Knight found out it was because of me. It's not likely to happen anytime soon, but an enemy could use our names, skills, and history to trick other members or develop a targeted strategy. I may also begin storing schematics and stockpile records on there. Right now, the Knight is doing it all by hand. Well, for now, I just hope we don't make too many enemies. I don't expect much from the raiders, but maybe they're smarter than they give off. Well, you know, just trying to help where I can. Rusty nails and live wires are fun and all, but sometimes it's also nice to write code without having to get my hands dirty. Not a problem. I'm here to help.
Training weapons and a base like this? You're gonna be invincible.
Think of everywhere we've been. This old place may hold the most promise.
One day I'll be back, and I'll show those raiders loose.
I've always got time for you, Initiate. What do you need? About me. What do you want to know? California. Though, truth be told, I've spent most of my life in one bunker or another. My parents joined the Brotherhood when I was very young, so I grew up in the Order. Really? How rare. You'll have to let me interview you sometime. I'd love to know more about the vaults. I have a lot to take care of while we get settled in here, but I'll get back to you on this. Don't worry. I do. Scribes are critical to the Brotherhood's mission. It's a mission I believe in. The work that comes my way can get tedious or overwhelming, but knowing I'm helping the greater good keeps me satisfied. Most days. Appalachia. It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. It reminds me of the stories my parents told me of before the war. Hiking in the mountains, playing in the rivers. I think, despite everything, you're lucky, Wastelander. I don't say that lightly. Really? How? I have a lot. We're a strong organization with a noble goal. Our methods draw some flack sometimes, but we're doing the right thing. Of course. What's the next topic?
The Scorched, the Raiders, the Ghouls. If anything tries to...
Sure. Always happy to talk tech with an initiate. No, I don't think so. As much as I'd love to, we're too short-handed, and I just don't have that kind of expertise. We'll have to make do with learning what we can from the project for now. I'd like to reverse engineer it and make more, of course. With the amount of energy it can unleash, we could power all kinds of things for a very long time. Think of how far a vertibird could fly on ultrasight power. Sure thing. What's the next topic? Lucky for you, I know all about us. The Council of Elders, chief among them, High Elder Maxon, our founder. He proclaimed our mission and set us on the path we follow today. Our expedition leader is Paladin Romani. She's an aggressive and daring commander who's taken us through many trials. We're here to help the people of Appalachia and to catalog any technological discoveries we find. We set up Fort Atlas to that end. This old observatory has a wealth of technology to discover and is a good staging point for future operations. We also want to learn the fate of the old Appalachian chapter of our order. MIA. Presumed KIA.
One day I'll make night. Then I'll show his readers who's boss.
Yeah. To be honest, that's what I expected to hear. At least they died trying to make a difference. May they rest in peace. I knew some of them from a distance. But it's better if we don't get into that now. California, all the way across the continent. I've read that people used to fly that distance in a few hours, but the trek took us months. Maybe eventually we'll get flying again, but for now it's an arduous journey. We're an order dedicated to the preservation of science and technology. We find and catalog knowledge from before the bombs and keep it safe. That's one interpretation, certainly one I've heard before. But my journey here has only reinforced my faith in our mission. We're dedicated and organized. I trust us to do the right thing with the knowledge we gather. Okay, what do you want to know? Sure, what needs explaining? We're the heart of the Brotherhood's mission to find, catalog, and preserve pre-war technology. Though sometimes in practice, well, let's just say I spend a lot of time calibrating things. We record things. Histories, schematics, every bit of knowledge we can get our hands on. We collect it all, compile it, and keep it safe, like old scholars or monks. Our name harkens back to that ancient tradition, so that's why we use it.
Never forget the heroes of Fort Defiance.
Sure, what do you want to talk about? I'll be here if you need anything.
My fault for depending on someone. Hi, you've got the holotape? Good, thanks. The weapons don't have one source. Some of them we looted off a group of unfortunate settlers. We've also traded them among ourselves. Some old friends visited Crater a while back wielding that firepower, claiming they earned it in a fight. They were bragging about it till the day they left. Said they sent some big armored folks running. I can't confirm that the losers were Brotherhood, but that was your logo on the side of those weapons, wasn't it? Doesn't matter to me. Now, I told you what I know. With any luck, we won't talk again. Yep. They may or may not have more, but they've definitely come in contact with them. West. They said they passed through Ohio before coming here. I don't know how much further out they went. They wouldn't shut up about it, so I learned to tune it out pretty quick. But I do remember them passing around a helmet with a bullet hole through its visor. A trophy from the Fallen. Don't change your mind. This was a one-time offer, and it's one that neither of us will speak of again.
I see you returned from Crater. Standing by for your report. That's not what I was hoping to hear. All right. Tell me about the sources. I see. And are those raiders still at Crater? It can't be helped then. We need to focus on Appalachia for the moment. Without more information, it's impossible to say. We fought plenty of raider groups across the entire expedition route. And the other one. Foundation 2. This is bad. Worse than I thought. At this rate, all of Appalachia will be toting these rocket launchers. All because of... Forgive me, Initiate. I lost my composure. We need to follow up with Foundation as soon as possible. Peaceful or not, civilians should not have access to that kind of technology. It's too easy for things to go wrong. Take the Great War as an example. That catastrophe is the inspiration for our mission today. You don't have clearance for that information, Initiate. Proceed with your report. So that's everything. That was a thorough report. The Brotherhood appreciates your diligence looking into this matter. Our next step is to deal with Foundation. Paladin Romani already had plans to establish contact, so she'll want to hear about this. No need to expound everything. I'll follow up later with a more detailed report. A knight's helmet? It must be. 2 other knights embarked with us from the west coast. Knight Thornberry returned partway through the journey. Knight Connors gave his life in honorable service to the Brotherhood. Show the proper respect when asking about him. To think they held onto his helmet like a trophy. It's unforgivable. That's classified information, Initiate. Not every operation runs perfectly. All you need to know is that we're fixing it. Ad Victorium.
Science solved problems back in the day.
Ah, Initiate. I haven't had the chance to discuss your last assignment with Knight Shin yet. Was there something you needed to report to me directly? Really? Foundation? That's troubling. How well do you know the people of Foundation? Excellent. That's great news. I spoke with a few members of their community, looking for ways to work together. We're in need of food and water. They have plenty to spare. However, knowing they may have those weapons accelerates matters. It's critical that we follow up with them right away. Your mission is as follows. Meet with Gloria Chance, the supervisor of Foundation Supply Room. Determine whether or not they've seen or acquired such weapons for themselves. And lastly, establish a trade deal with Foundation. Something that will provide us longevity in Appalachia. You're gonna have to make some tough decisions, but I trust that you know Foundation well enough to make the right calls. And allow me to stress, both returning with the weapons and securing a trade deal are equally important objectives, Initiate. I wholeheartedly agree. Remember, you represent the Brotherhood to these people. Do us proud.
You're back. I assume Paladin Romani has tasked you with handling the situation. Why are you dragging your feet? Move out. By any means necessary. Returning with those weapons is absolutely critical. This is too important a task for a light touch. Do whatever it takes. These weapons are far too dangerous to be in anyone's possession but our own. I see. This isn't surprising, but it's not the choice that I would have made. I will have a word with Paladin Romani while you're out. But remember, respect the chain of command. If Paladin Romani has tasked you with this, carry it out, regardless of what you or I may think of it. Do not test my patience, Initiate. This is our way. Chain of command supersedes how we feel. However, I will put this as plainly as I can. I feel we'd grow stronger from continuing to rely on ourselves rather than focus on trade deals. Recovering the weapons, however, is more than a task. It is your duty as a member of the Brotherhood of Steel. That's all I have to say on the matter. You have your assignment. Carry it out. You must be here about that shipment of Blamco mac and cheese. Great. I was starting to get worried.
Oh, how professional of you.
You say you're with Paladin Romani? That's fantastic. I didn't think she'd get back to us so quickly.
How can I help you, sire, your majesty, your steeliness?
Right. About that. Originally, we were hoping to purchase some weapons in exchange for food and supplies, but we may need to work something else out. After all, our last purchase is more than enough firepower for the time being. Yep, that's right. Hun, can you tell our friend here about those thingies we picked up recently?
Oh, sure thing. We got weapons all right, Initiate. You Brotherhood guys make some high-quality gear. And tell me if this sounds familiar. Tubes of explosive death with your logo on the side? Oh. Well, the stuff we got definitely has your logos on it. Some guys from the town watch took them out for testing a little earlier. I'm sure you can catch up with them. They normally practice at a small site they set up near the East Mountain Lookout, a bit north of here.
Oh, that's right. Mike and them took the weapons out for a test drive. If you head over, I'm sure they'd let you take a look. I hope you understand those weapons are our property, though. We spent quite a bit acquiring them. But hurry back. I'm sure we can still find a way to work together, even if we don't need more weapons. Okay, shoot. Well, this is the supply room for all things coming and going from Foundation. If it ends up in one of the Sonny's shops, it goes through here first. Okay, if you don't think it can wait.
Well, I'm the one who spent all our caps on them, so the least I can do is be the one answering questions about them. I know a guy who knows a guy. I don't know the guy he knows, though. My guy buys this and that from caravans and traders. He drops by here when he finds something interesting. He didn't mention where he got these from, just said he thinks he got a good deal on them. So he gave me a slightly less good deal. Good? I mean, they're weapons, right? Shouldn't weapons be dangerous? I'm not about to sign up for guard duty. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but...
Yeah.
Oh, hush you. Like I was saying, I'm no guard, but I would want to be equipped with the deadliest of weapons if I was. Follow me? Except they do, though. We bought them. I've got receipts if you want to see them. They're handwritten, but we keep everything on the books here.
If they belonged to your crew originally, well, that's tough luck for sure. And I feel for you guys, I do. But look around us. What's not secondhand property anymore? Everything used to belong to somebody, right? Really, though, once you get things settled, over by the lookout tower, I'm sure we can work something out.
Can anyone live peacefully these days? Raiders, mutants, giant sonic booms, screaming bats? You telling me you didn't bump into something nasty on your walk over here? Come on now. Okay, then.
And send the fellas home, would ya? They've been playing with those things long enough.
Alright, everyone gather round. Ward wanted us to record some instructions on how to use these things. Where's Mike? Hey, Mike, stop messing around that terminal and grab one of those rocket launchers.
Uh-oh. Sorry. I wanted to lock the terminal first. Let me put this in my bag really quick.
Give it up, Mike. That could be decades old. Just grab one of them and come here. Wait, Mike, I told you not to pick it up like that.
Oh, God. What have I done? Right there. Don't come any closer. Investigating? What? You've been to the lookout tower. You have to understand. It was an accident. I'm Mike. Mike Tiller. Go to Foundation. Tell him you found me dead. Because I'm never leaving. I'm not going back. You can't make me. They'll never believe me. They'll think I'm a murderer. There's nothing to say. Just go and leave me. This door is barred tight, and way behind me is flooded. You can't get in. Just give up and go tell Gloria I'm dead. There's nothing to say. Just go and leave me. did you even... Please, don't hurt me. Okay, I can explain. We were just testing these out. You know, Tad picked them up a while back. They seemed really powerful. They were always telling me, "Be careful, Mike. Don't pick it up that way, Mike." But my fingers slipped and I killed them. All. Instantly. But it was an accident. I swear. I never... Oh, God. I mean, sure, but that doesn't change what I did. How can I face them after No, you're right. They should hear it from me. I'll go back. On one condition. Let me bring the weapons back myself. Gloria and Tad will know what to do. I'm sorry. They're the only ones I trust to take care of these. I have to make sure they get back to them. I dragged all these in here, though. Fine. You bring...
Mike was just telling us about what happened out there. I can't believe it. All those boys, just... It's a lot to take in.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Well, I hope you're planning on giving the weapons back all the same. They're ours.
Tad, enough! We still need to find a way to work with these people. I think we should try and wrap up business between us now. We're going to need to tell those families about what happened. I know it's hard to think about at a time like this, but settling on a deal and having you on your way is probably for the best. Now then, I understand you'll want to take these weapons back with you, but that won't work for us. They cost us too many caps to just let go. Unfortunately, regardless of where they came from before, they're our property now, and they'll need to stay with us.
Well, hard to argue with that. We're not exactly the most disciplined bunch.
It's true. Maybe if I had proper training, this wouldn't have happened.
All right, the weapons are safer with you, but what would the Brotherhood need in return for training?
You're not gonna make me do push-ups, are you?
'Cause that would be the end of the world. Okay, we provide food, water, and the latest scoop on weird tech, and the Brotherhood provides us with training to better defend ourselves. Sounds pretty fair to me.
Oh, shit.
Thanks for all your help. Please let Paladin Romani know where we stand.
Thanks again, Initiate. Looking forward to doing business with y'all.
Initiate, give your report to Paladin Romani.
Welcome back, Initiate. I was just discussing the missile launcher matter with Knight Shin here. I imagine you're here to report on your dealings with Foundation. Well then, don't keep us waiting.
Interesting. So they'd be willing to take our lead when it comes to how they handle defense in the future. This could be mutually beneficial. At the very least, we may be able to rely on them to keep the crater in check.
We're not here to exacerbate aggressions between the locals, Knight Shin. Initiate, Your heart is in the right place, but we need to be careful about creating too much imbalance in the region. I'd be happy to recruit members of Foundation into our ranks if they want to learn to fight, but making the settlement more militant is concerning.
So you'd be okay if they're properly trained, but only if they're flying our colors. That sounds more like a recruitment drive than an effort to help others.
That's enough, Knight. You know it's more complicated than you're boiling it down to. Besides, we have a more pressing issue that the Initiate has uncovered. It's troubling that the weapons have spread to this degree, but there isn't much we can do beyond dealing with situations like this as they arise. But, Initiate, I hope you know you've done well.
Paladin, maybe we should check in with Scribe Valdez. She had mentioned wanting to bring something important to our attention.
That's right. Initiate, please let the Scribe know we're ready for her. Knight Shin and I have a few things to discuss in the meantime.
Have you talked to the others recently? I've been trying to get a moment with them, but things are still so busy. Seems our time slots never align. Then it's my lucky day. Come with me.
You should get that mutation treated as an example to the other troops.
Paladin, Knight, you'll want to hear this. I picked up a low-frequency signal in the area. It's weak, but I'm close to narrowing down the coordinates. If we can find and boost the source of that signal, we might be able to use it to get in touch with California.
That's excellent news, Scribe Valdez. Follow up with me as soon as you have the coordinates.
What's this about? I thought I made it clear that our first priority is strengthening our presence in Appalachia.
My apologies, Paladin. The Knight kept talking about Elder Maxon's orders, so I set up a signal tracer to run in the background. It was my own initiative.
This isn't a field trip, Paladin. When we left, Elder Maxon ordered us to restore communications as soon as we arrived in Appalachia. You've delayed that order long enough.
Since our arrival, every last ounce of my effort has gone toward establishing the Brotherhood as an effective force of action in Appalachia. Everything we've done here has been necessary. And before Valdez's report, we had no leads on a long-distance communicator.
We would still have no leads if it were up to you.
Enough, Shin. We have a lead now. Let's focus on that. You said you're close to tracking down the signal, Valdez? Why don't we have our reliable Initiate assist you?
Okay. I'll be in my workshop when you're ready.
We'll make Appalachia a better place for everyone, Initiate. You're part of that.
Sorry you had to see that. Let's get down to business, shall we? If we can find the source of the signal I detected, we should be able to use it to send a message to Elder Maxon on the west coast. I tracked the signal to an area northwest of Vault 76. You'll need to go and check it out in person. Maybe you'll get lucky. But I suspect the source of the transmission won't be easy to find. Devices that transmit at this frequency are rare. The only ones I know of were built at advanced military facilities. After all you've done for us, I suppose you deserve an answer. Their relationship has been rocky since a certain incident on our journey here. It's kind of a sensitive topic for everyone. I thought they'd be able to work things out over time, but it's only gotten worse. I'm honestly kind of worried. But maybe contact with Elder Maxon will get them back on track. I hope it does. It was one of our orders. After setting up in Appalachia, we were to re-establish contact, make a report, and receive our next assignment. It's not that the Paladin has directly disobeyed that order, but she's been more focused on helping Appalachia. Being in that position, as the leader of this whole operation, I can't even imagine how much she has to think about. I'm just trying to support both her and the Knight as much as I can, and hopefully get them back on the same page. Oh, have we not explained that to you yet? It should have been part of your initiation. Guess we just haven't had a chance to slow down. Sorry about that. Above the Paladins are the Elders, and leading the Elders is High Elder Maxon. He's the one who founded the Brotherhood, and decided to send us on our mission here. Because other transmitters don't reach that far. The one they were using at Fort Defiance is out of commission, permanently. But low-frequency signals like the one I'm detecting, they travel incredible distances, even passing through mountains and oceans without a hitch. During wartime, they were used to transmit signals to submarines. Pretty cool, right? I'm glad you asked. It may not work in its current state, but do you remember what we found in the Atlas substructure? An incredibly powerful compact ultrasight battery cell. With one of those, we could easily boost the transmitter back to its full function. Lucky for us, I've just managed to reverse engineer the cell. Think of this as its final test. Stay safe out there. We'll be right on your tail.
Do you need something, soldier? Does this look like a social club to you? I have my duties to attend to. I would hope that you have yours.
They've managed to rebuild here, in spite of the scorched plague.
It sounds to me like you haven't decided your purpose in this world. I have, and it doesn't involve making friends with everyone. As you can see, I'm in charge of the armory. I maintain and manage all of our equipment. I keep records of our stockpiles, distribute rations, and acquire resources as needed. Since we only have one Paladin here, I also lead various combat operations and support Paladin Romani in any ways necessary. To be clear, my duties do not include human resources. If you're not sure what to do, then stay at your post and await orders. There's a lot going on around here right now. We haven't even unpacked, and there are people pressed up against our windows with petitions. I've got enough to deal with without having to babysit new recruits. Make it quick, please. When you sufficiently demonstrate your effectiveness as an initiate and your dedication to our mission, making yourself useful instead of pestering me about your official title would be a good start. The 1st Expeditionary Force was tasked with investigating several valued technological sites across the U.S., concluding at the Atlas Observatory. From here, we would report back on the fate of the preceding Appalachian chapter, carrying on the Brotherhood's mission in their stead if need be. Or we would have done that report if we still had a working long-distance transmitter. We have Raiders to thank for that one. That lines up with our discovery so far. Truly an abominable threat, the Scorched. I will refrain from asking why you were snooping around a Brotherhood facility. I will warn you not to do it again. That information is classified. There is, and my interpretation of our orders is that acquiring it should be our #1 priority. Paladin Romani thinks otherwise. She has reevaluated the situation based on her own judgment. I'm following her orders.
Not running my own operation would involve this much paperwork.
Ask them if you must. To procure and preserve dangerous technologies from before the war, and defend humanity from itself. Since the world went to pieces, anyone and everyone has been using what they can find in the wasteland to their own ends, unrestricted. If things continue like this, humanity will never make it. Make it quick, please. I'd rather not waste my breath on that topic, so make it quick. You mean that vile man we dealt with at the storeroom? The next time he tries to wax poetic about Brotherhood tyranny and how he's trying to protect his family, Any family that threatens others to protect itself is just a criminal mob. And the way that Pierce tries to twist his words around you to justify himself, it's repulsive. And I mentioned I'd rather not talk about it. But, since you're so insistent on being intrusive, Knight Connors defended my hometown from raiders, and subsequently brought me into the fold. I've seen raiders threaten and destroy communities a number of times, not just my own. As such, I believe it is within the Brotherhood's mission to address the threat they pose to humanity. Because the raiders are undignified outlaws who lie, steal, and murder as they see fit, their existence is a direct obstacle to the Brotherhood's mission to save humanity. That's why we can't just get along. Gladly. Ad Victoriam.
For everyone.
Task 151977. J. Rodriguez. Lower temperature to 20 degrees Celsius in the lab. Task complete. Please verify. Task queue interrupted. It seems as though we have a visitor. Welcome to Enclave Research Facility Site J. May I ask the reason for your visit today? Interesting. Not like the others. Very well. Task entered. Estimated wait time, 14,320 hours, 12 minutes. Affirmative, General. Priority adjusted. New estimated wait time, 6,598 hours, 42 minutes. I do apologize, but you must wait in the queue with everyone else. You may manually activate the transmitter via the communication center. However, I do not recommend that. It is a very long walk. In the meantime, if you wish to tour the facility, please enter decontamination to your left. Task 151978. R. Wiggins. Turn on the goddamn lights in the living quarters. Task complete. Please verify. Warning. Biological hazard detected in the research lab. Please evacuate immediately. Task 000. Unknown user. Priority 1. Open all cell doors in the holding cell area. Task 151981. K. Jones. Increase barometric pressure in holding cell 2C to 2400 millibarts. Error. Unknown term. Millibarts. Please resubmit task. Welcome back. My apologies. My residence, my must have had a good reason to open all those cells at the time. Your nutrients must be running low. Please, help yourself to any supplies you need. Forgive the mess. The residents became rather unruly after the accident. Task 151982, G. Walton. Provide status of water recycling system. Duplicate issue. Ignoring. It would be a shame if they finished you off. enable security cameras in the mainframe room. Access denied. Registration successful. Visitor, it is required that you leave immediately. Failure to comply will result in extermination.
There's no time for conversation.
Now isn't the time.
Warning. Visitor has accessed mainframe. The others tried to shut me off too. Their task failed. As will yours.
What is that voice?
It doesn't sound good.
Task 000. Unknown user. Priority 1. Transfer service. Operating system. Q unit. XP-55. Task complete. Please verify.
Trying to guard this place.
Nothing we couldn't handle. This appears to be a manual console for the transmitter. I need a moment to figure out the controls. The two of you are to find the power supply and install the ultrasight battery cell that Scribe Valdez sent us with. Take your time. I'll need to wrestle with this.
This way, Initiate. I believe the power supply should be in this area. Let's get this done quickly, leaving Romani to fit. It's against everything I know and trust to disrespect my superiors. But it would be irresponsible to hold back my reservations any longer. Paladin Romani's actions are unbecoming of her station. She carelessly shares resources, takes unnecessary risks, and doles out her trust to anyone who takes an interest in joining us, regardless of merit. The Brotherhood she's building is not the one I believe in. It doesn't matter where her heart is. There are no buts in a life or death situation, Initiate. Paladin Romani is responsible for the lives of dozens of Initiates and countless civilians. One wrong choice for them, and that's it. I won't argue about this, but I will order you to get back to the transmitter while I finish up here. Think about what I said, Initiate, and think about what the Brotherhood stands for.
Did Night Shin get held up? Well, perhaps it's for the best. This gives me the opportunity to ask you something. You've been a tremendous asset to the Brotherhood's efforts, and I'd like you to continue to be one. But we can't do that with the shadows of the Elders looming over our shoulders. They're cowards. Too obsessed with preventing disaster to pave a new way forward. Under their guidance, we will never rebuild the world. We'll stay rooted in place, guarding a hoard of technology that can be used for neither good nor evil. Here in Appalachia, we have an opportunity to make a real difference, to help the people of today build their own future. So let's cut free and take that opportunity. Tell me, Initiate, are you with me? I'm saying that this message must not be sent. I believe in the Brotherhood of Steel. So much that I would rewrite its customs to lead it on the right path. Re-establishing contact with the Elders will only shackle us, possibly even destroy us. So we must disable this transmitter, permanently. This is a choice that can never be undone. So tell me, do you support the growth and outreach of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel under the command of Paladin Layla Romani? Or are you beholden to the fearful and outdated mandates of the Elders, to whom our very own Knight Daniel Shin vows his loyalty? Something happened during our journey to Appalachia. It's a mistake that cost the lives of an entire town, and likely countless more. If Knight Shin gets an opportunity to speak with the Elders, he will confess to this incident and to us breaking their direct orders. We'll have our titles stripped, our influence rendered illegitimate. Everything we worked for here will be gone. But if circumstances prevent us from establishing contact, we will continue on as a sanctioned offshoot of the Brotherhood of Steel. We will be able to spread its authority and goodwill across the nation. Is that not something worth fighting for? You must recall the Brotherhood weaponry we tasked you with retrieving these last few missions. We had claimed the entire cache from a military facility in the Midwest. It was meant to stay under Brotherhood protection, until we came across a town under threat of a massacre by some raiders. We equipped the townspeople with the weapons and fought by their sides. It was the only way to give them a chance, but it wasn't enough. The raiders won. They took possession of the weapons, and they've been running wild ever since. It is my belief that we must learn from our mistakes. But Knight Shin hangs on to them. He cannot move forward until he confronts the past, until he lays our guilt on display for the Elders. I say that we can, that we must, move forward on our own. This is not about me, Initiate. This is about the people we can help. It's about the promise of a better future, one we can only deliver with our own, untethered hands. Yes, I am responsible for the final outcome of all operations performed by this group, regardless of individual choices made. What happened is an irreparable tragedy. I carry the weight of the lives that were lost with every step I take. But I cannot allow it to stop me. There's a thin line between order and blind obedience. At one time, I may have trusted Shin to stay on the right side. He's always been strict, dedicated, disciplined. But following these events, he became guarded. He doesn't let up for even a second. If he continues on this way, I worry he will lose sight of why he joined the Brotherhood in the first place. You weren't there, Initiate. It was harrowing. Those civilians trusted us to save them. We lost one of our own as well. Knight Connors. May he rest in peace. We disobeyed orders, handing out those weapons instead of safeguarding them. Perhaps it would have been forgivable had we succeeded, but the Elders would take this failure as proof of the danger of unrestrained technology. They would double down on the fearful conservatism I've tried so hard to steer them away from. We cannot let that happen. At this stage, the Brotherhood still has a chance to be something better. Consider what's right, not just for the Brotherhood, but for the people we must protect. If you wish to have any stake in your own destiny, Initiate, then you will need allies. I'd suggest you start thinking about who they are. In any case, I've made my choice. This cannot wait any longer.
No!
To a new Brotherhood!
What have you done, Paladin?
Elders have no hold on us anymore. Stand with me, Shin. Play a part in forging a better future.
I have every intention of forging a better future, but this is not the way. You've broken your oath, Paladin. No, that title no longer belongs to you. With your link removed from the chain, I am the highest-ranking officer present. All members of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel now answer to me.
And you expect them to follow you? Authority is given to a leader by those who support them. The same initiates who turn away from you in fear.
And I've done wrong by them. I never thought I would be in a position to ask for their loyalty. The Brotherhood must stand united. You've severed everything we rely on.
I have not turned my back on the Brotherhood, Shin. On the contrary, I will work harder than ever before to lead us forward.
It's an emergency alert from Fort Atlas.
An alert? There could very well be an attack. We need to get back to the Initiates.
I don't take orders from you anymore. Neither do the Initiates. We cannot have them confused on who to follow.
Don't you see that protecting them is more important right now? You and I will both return to the fort and deal with the alert. We can settle our dispute later.
As you say. But as far as I'm concerned, this is already settled. This way, Initiate.
Despite the circumstances, the Brotherhood needs us.
Greetings, Initiate.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I don't know how much longer we could hold out without you. Atlas is under attack. These big, mutant people blew a hole right through the wall of the substructure and came pouring through.
A mutant attack now, of all times. Unbelievable.
Scribe, status report. How many hostiles? Where are they now?
Dozens of mutants. I couldn't get a good count. We fought them back into the substructure and set up a makeshift barricade. We're holding them below for now, but it's only a matter of time before they break through. Please, before it's too late.
We need to get down there and reinforce that barricade. Shin, I trust you could put your feelings aside and work with me on this?
Of course. The safety of our brethren comes first.
Good. Then let's go.
Hurry! Good. Our initiate's held. And the barricade's still standing.
It looks like things have calmed down. Is this the last of the attackers?
Unlikely. Hostiles have been hitting in waves for hours now. Our scouts, the ones who've returned, reported the tunnels crawling with mutants.
Then we need a plan of attack. This threat won't take care of itself. We'll go on the offensive, take the fight to them.
We can barely hold a position of strength. Engaging superior numbers head-on would be suicide.
Paladin Romani herself. Oh, now we're talking.
Thank you, Initiate. At least some of us still have some common sense.
I see your indecision has given way at last, Initiate.
What's gotten into all of you? This is no time for bickering. Look, I think there's a way we can make the plan a success. I have some explosive charges. I was waiting to plant them as our last line of defense, but maybe we can put them to better use. If we go into the tunnels and find their points of entry, we can destroy them and prevent any more mutants from attacking.
A surgical strike. I suppose that could work. As much as I hate to admit it, I don't see a better option right now. Fine. But the Initiate will plant the bombs, and I will control the detonator. Scribe Valdez will stay behind and command the barricade, in case we don't make it.
Very well, Shin. If that's the price of your cooperation, then I'll pay it. If only to hold our Brotherhood together a little longer.
A little longer? What? Oh, never mind. I can wait. Here are the bombs. I'll stay here and do what I can for the wounded. Good luck. I believe in you. All of you.
Paladin Romani herself. Oh, now we're talking.
aggressive, uncompromising approach?
Of course. Stand back!
The tunnel surface is... The mission was a success, and Fort Atlas is safe. Our decisive action drove the enemy from our home, as it has in the past, and will in the future.
We survived the attack, but now you need to answer for what you did at the transmitter. It was inexcusable.
Okay, what happened? You've been at each other's throats since you returned. I should have known something was wrong. She did what now?
I destroyed the transmitter. The Elders are blind to the good we can do. We need to break free from their influence.
You only did this to escape responsibility for that incident. You can't bear to face the judgment of the Elders.
The Elders would have us stand trial for crimes we didn't commit. Your own sense of guilt is blinding you to that.
It's clear you can't be reasoned with. I don't know why I bothered trying. These new mutants are a threat that demands our unity. For now. Enjoy your success while you can, Romani. It won't last forever.
Do what you will, Shin. Cool your head and come back when you're ready to cooperate.
I don't know what to say. Paladin Romani has always butted heads with the Elders, but cutting ourselves off entirely? And I've never seen Knight Shin behave that way toward a superior officer. His rage has taken complete control of his senses. They each have beliefs so strong they die for them. Those passions drive them forward, but leave no room for compromise. It's clear this rift won't heal easily. There's too much animosity between those two now. I still believe that they can come together in the end, though. I plan to do everything I can to make that happen. We've been through a lot. I need some time to think. Ad Victoriam Initiate. Until next time.